the chairman of the House Freedom Caucus, Maryland Congressman Andy Harris. So, Congressman, right now it doesn't seem like there's the 218 yet. So are we any closer to getting a final deal on this package? Where do you think things stand right now?
Well, I think actually we're further away from a deal because that SALT cap increase, I think, upset a lot of conservatives. Again, the conservatives are pushing for some balancing spending reductions. We actually stopped negotiating just before midnight because we actually had a deal that was then pulled off the table. So again, this bill actually got worse overnight. There is no way it passes today. And as I've said all along, we may need a couple of weeks to iron everything out, but it's not going anywhere today.
Okay, so what specifically do you need to ultimately vote yes on this? What are you looking for?
Well, what I'll call our midnight deal was actually to advance with the president's agenda by ending waste, fraud, and abuse in the Medicaid program. Like he said, was just fine. He was perfectly okay with ending waste, fraud, and abuse. The vast majority of Americans are okay with that. And again, winding down more of those green new scam energy subsidies. Those two things are pretty essential in order to get this across the finish line, and I'm a little disappointed. Again, it was pulled off the table after we had agreement. So look, we're gonna have to start a new negotiating, but time's running out on this first effort, and when it comes to the floor, it's going to fail. Hopefully, and it'll fail in a way that keeps the negotiations and the bill alive, but it's not going anywhere today.
Congressman, I'm a little surprised here that, it would seem to me that killing green raw deal tax scam would be easy. Why would Republicans be opposed to that?
I have no idea. The bottom line is that no Republican voted for the IRA, and yet now there are some who have heartburn over reducing this grifting by companies. A lot of them foreign companies taking tens of billions of American hard-earned taxpayer dollars, and putting them into their accounts instead of lowering energy bills like we should be doing.
I mean, the president and Republicans sent to Washington with a mandate, to enact the agenda that he campaigned on. Do you worry that voters will get frustrated by this infighting at all?
No, I think they're going to be frustrated by the way Congress acts. The fact that Congress can't end the Green New Deal, the fact that Congress can't end waste, fraud, and abuse in a Medicaid program whose spending is running out of control, and most of it goes to blue states, large blue states like California, New York, and Illinois. The bottom line, they should be frustrated that Congress got us into a debt crisis with the Moody's downgrade last week, and Congress is obviously unwilling to do something about it at this point. I think we'll get there, but it's just we're not going to get there today.
Yeah, during the meeting yesterday morning, the president defended the Freedom Caucus, saying he loves you and that you're his guys. But he placed blame, obviously, on Democrats. But prior to the meeting, he did call out that there are one or two grandstanders in there. Take a listen.
You have a couple that will grandstand, but I think even the grandstanders should look. The alternative is a 68% tax increase, and you can blame the Democrats for that, and one or two grandstanders. We only have one or two. So this is the biggest tax cut in the history of our country. Or you'll get a 68% tax increase. And if that happens, I mean, what Republican could vote for that to happen? Because there wouldn't be a Republican much longer.
I mean, do you have any concern about the unity when it comes to these so-called, one or two grandstanders?
No, look, again, we'll get to the deal. We're just not at it today. And the bottom line is there's a basic difference between the Freedom Caucus. Look, the Democrats don't want to pass this bill because they actually want taxes to go up. The Freedom Caucus wants to pass the bill. We want taxes to go down. But we realize that we have to, again, end waste, fraud, and abuse in the Medicaid program, and we have to end the Green New Scam.
So bottom line, you're telling us that for a fact, no way this gets done today. The votes just aren't there.
That's right. Again, once they made the decision to not include the deal in this package, there are, and it'll be more than 12 to 15 members. It's way more than that. As I said, this bill got worse, not better, overnight.
Information, truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.